2012 was 10 years ago. I feel like burning a calendar right now. Today marks the 10-year anniversary of when I first created my YouTube channel, and you know what that means, I'm officially a 10-year-old. Except I'm referring to my other channel, Kajabr Guy. And over the course of the past decade, that channel has seen a lot. Several format changes, the creation of this channel, the cheese touch, the loss of my innocence, the end of the world, twice, and also Squid Game. But this channel is 6 years old, and in its current format, it's only 1 year old, so that would make me a 21-year-old. I decided to talk about it here because I have this thing where I like to upload on both channels at the same time, so I'm commemorating it on both. Also, I think my format on this channel lends itself well to talking about my history on YouTube, which, if you want to be generous about it, starts way back in the olden days of the mid to late 2000s. When the first YouTube video, Me at the Zoo, was uploaded in April of 2005, I was a month away from turning 4, so I'm not old enough to remember a world without YouTube. During that time, my biggest concerns in life were Juice and also rewatching Willy Wonka and Toy Story 2 on repeat. But a couple years later, on my 7th birthday, was when things really got started. I remember it being a pretty fun day, like it was at a bowling alley, I was turning 7, and the 2008 recession was happening, but I had no idea because I was turning 7. But the standout moment was during present time when I got a video camera, a flip video camera to be more specific, and it changed my life. As I implied earlier, I've always liked movies and videos and stuff, and I actually used to speak exclusively in movie quotes, but for the first time ever, I was the one making the movies. I absolutely loved that thing. I remember taking it to a water gun fight once and getting mad at all the people for squirting at it with their water guns. This was also right around when I discovered the likes of Michael Hickox and the Cute Mario Bros. Michael Hickox made stop motions with Lego bricks, also known as brick filming, and Cute Mario Bros was the first ever Mario Plush channel. And together, they were my introduction to the concept of YouTube creators. I wasn't really in a hurry to have my own YouTube channel yet. I mean, come on, I have standards and 2 YouTube channels now. Are those mutually exclusive? But I remember making personal videos for myself, inspired by what I saw on YouTube. I made stop motions and videos with Mario toys, and I made stop motions with Mario toys. And then a couple more years later, in 2011 or 2012, things would really get started again. When I became a fan of this one game that was taking over the world, Minecraft. My favorite way to play at the time was single player and creative mode, and my favorite type of house to make was a secret underground bunker with redstone and sticky pistons because I didn't trust people. They keep squirting their water guns at my video cameras, but I digress. Remember earlier when I said I wasn't in a hurry to start a YouTube channel? Well, this is the part of the story that you can disregard that because on August 20th, 2012, I created the YouTube channel Kajabr Guy, and then 2 days later I would upload my first video, Secret Minecraft House. Actually, about a year prior to this, I wanted to make a channel called Awesome Guy Productions where I would review tech and video games and stuff, but I never did that. Maybe it's for the best though, because I wasn't even old enough to be a YouTuber when I created Kajabr Guy. I was 11 at the time, and you need to be at least 13 to do that, but I have since matured. One day, I decided to be older than 13, and I've never looked back. So with that being said, let's look back. I uploaded Secret Minecraft House on August 22nd, 2012, 2 days after creating it on the 20th. Do I need to say on the 20th? As you can most likely guess, it was a showcase of one of those secret underground bunkers I was talking about earlier. I didn't know about screen recorders yet, so I made a makeshift stand for my video camera. And if I'm remembering correctly, I used a big stack of books, a tissue box, and some Legos. No, it wasn't the flip video camera, I'd lost it by this point. It was a red camera that could take pictures and videos. It was Polaroid but also digital. To be more specific, it was a Polaroid DVF 720 camcorder, and I still have it. I don't think I'll ever use it again, but I still have it. I don't remember how I lost the flip video camera, but I'm gonna stop drinking water to protest the existence of water guns. In the background, I was playing my favorite song at the time, First of the Year Equinox by Skrillex. And when I say in the background, what I mean is I told everyone in the house to be quiet so I could play it out loud on the speakers. So yeah, with all that considered, the final product was pretty rough, but it was definitely a start. And then 4 days later, I made the long-awaited sequel, Secret Minecraft House 2. Was it worth the excruciatingly long wait? It was another Secret Minecraft house with pretty much the same camera setup, but I did learn how to add songs in post using Windows Movie Maker. So naturally, I added the credits theme for New Super Mario Bros. Wii, of course, why wouldn't I? After that, I took a break from making YouTube videos for a couple months. Then sometime during that break, my brother gave me his 4th gen iPod Touch. In case you're not old enough to remember when the iPod Touch was a thing, you're actually a fetus because you're younger than me, and it was basically an iPhone without the functionality of a phone. So you couldn't call or text, but you could install apps from the App Store, and one of the apps that I installed was Stop Motion Studio. Then in April of 2013, I said, oh wait, I have a YouTube channel. In early April, I made 2 animations with paper cutouts of Mario sprites. Then in mid-April, I started making brick films using the Stop Motion Studio app on the iPod Touch and a makeshift stand I made out of Legos. Earlier in this video, I talked about Michael Hickox as one of the first YouTube creators I ever knew about, and after I got my own YouTube account, he was the first channel that I ever subscribed to. I mention him now because my first brick film was heavily inspired by LEGO Secret Agent, a brick film he made back in 2009. There was this one week where I was sick for 2 days in a row with pink eye, so I used that as an opportunity to create LEGO Spy Mission, which reignited my passion for stop motion and kickstarted my passion for brick filming. And for a while there, aside from a few desk videos and a third Minecraft house, brick filming became the main focus of Kajabr Guy, with such classics as LEGO Prison, LEGO Sleepover, Crazy Kajabr Clips 2, and who could forget George and the Magical Couch, America's favorite brick film. I made that last part up, but it should be true. One time, I even entered LEGO Spy Mission into a film festival and won $100 for it. On that day, I said, oh yeah, I can finally pay my mortgage because I was 12. One last thing I'd like to mention is that America's actual favorite brick film, the Lego Movie, came out during my time as a brick filmer, so of course I was absolutely obsessed with it. So yeah, those were really fun times, but of course, they didn't last forever. Like I said earlier, I liked using the iPod Touch when brick filming, but it was already a couple years old by the time I got it. It was also prone to breaking pretty frequently, but I didn't live near any places that could repair it, so I would always have to send it away to get it repaired. It was most often the battery that malfunctioned, and by mid-2014, when I got to George and the Magical Couch, I was 13, which meant I was finally old enough to start a YouTube channel. But my iPod was at a point where it couldn't turn on without being plugged in. After that, I ended up making one more brick film with it, but when that was done, it was finally time to give up on fixing it. I still have it today, but it's long dead. From that point on, I never brick filmed as much as I used to, but I wasn't quite done yet. There were 3 in total, one that I made with the stop motion feature on the 3DS in late 2014, one that I made with an iPhone 4 in early 2015, and finally, I made one with an LG Escape 2 in late 2016. And ever since then, I have not made another brick film, but as you can see, I haven't given up on YouTube. And actually, between those last 3 brick films, I started doing other things. In mid-2014, I made a game using Scratch, a programming tool for kids. I didn't really use it much after 2014, but later that year, I started learning how to use Blender, an open-source 3D modeling and animation software. You can also use it to make games if you want, but I'm more of an animation guy. For a while, I wanted to make a movie about Mario because I'm a big fan, he's my dad. But eventually the project crumbled under the weight of its own ambition. And I was just a kid using the family computer, I wasn't Pixar, I'm still not Pixar. And now Illumination is making a Mario movie starring Chris Pratt, he's so cool. But with that being said, I did learn how to use Blender and I made a bunch of test animations. And in late 2015, I used it to make a video that led Kajabr Guy to where it is today. On Halloween that year, I made a video called Halloween Thing, which featured some skeletons dancing to the Living Tombstones version of Spooky Scary Skeletons. This was the first meme that I posted on Kajabr Guy, which is currently a meme channel. But 2016 was when I decided to make it a meme channel. 2016 was actually a big year for the channel for 3 other reasons. First of all, I got my own laptop, which meant I didn't have to rely on the family computer anymore. It was a ThinkPad X220T, and I actually still have it, but it's not that powerful, so I don't use it very much anymore. Second of all, I discovered and became inspired by Storytime animation YouTubers like Jaden Animations, The Odd Ones Out, Domix, and Tony V Tunes. Third of all, I got a blue snowball microphone, which I'm using to record this right now. I actually played around with the idea of having an animated persona in 2015, but I didn't really know what to do with it until I discovered them. So on June 23rd, 2016, I created the channel I'm Just a Marker, which would eventually become this channel. At the time, I wanted to be like the animators I just mentioned, where I would talk about my life and then animate it. And look at what I've been doing for the past 9 minutes. Chase your dreams, kids. Grow up to be an octopus. But of course, I didn't get there on the first try. That's just life. I made a total of 5 videos for I'm Just a Marker, and 4 of them were kinda filler, leaving one quote-unquote real video. And I made all of them in 2016, with the exception of the last one, which was 2017. So why did I stop there? For now, I'll just give you the short version and say I had trouble finding my own identity. It's Kajabr Guy's anniversary, so I don't want to spend too long talking about my channel instead of talking about my channel. So while that was going on with I'm Just a Marker, I made memes on Kajabr Guy. And also mashups, and some that are kind of both and whatever this was, but primarily memes, and those memes can be split up into 4 different eras. First we have the whatever era, lasting from 2015 to 2016. For the first two, I animated random characters dancing in Blender. Next was a clip from a Kirby game, but I put the what you say song over it. And the last one was my first mashup meme. And also there was a video about a glitch I found in Mario 64 between the second Blender video and the Kirby video. I was just kinda messing around at this point. I mean, I always am, but after I created I'm Just a Marker, that was the point I decided to become a dedicated meme channel. And I think that's what separates the first era from the second era, which I'm gonna call the Cheese Touch era, lasting from 2016 to 2019. I was still doing random edits and mashups, but as time went on, I would start to participate in meme trends from the time, like Pen Pineapple Apple Pen, We Are Number One, and Let It Grow. But more importantly than all of that, bass boosting. In early 2017, I remember seeing memes based on Diary of a Wimpy Kid and bass boost memes. This led me to create my magnum opus, the Cheese Touch scene, but every time they say cheese, it causes a 2 decibel bass boost. In the time since, it's become easily my most viewed video. And Know Your Meme even cites it as the origin of the Cheese Touch as a meme. For a while thereafter, I just kinda continued what I was already doing, making memes, mashup memes, whatever this was, and in late 2018, I started making regular mashups. Then in 2019, I had my 18th birthday and I celebrated in the best way possible, working on a video. I just so happened to make it in a similar style to How To Basic, which leads us to Era 3, the How To Basic era, where I would make videos similar to How To Basic. Kind of. How To Basic was a parody of YouTube tutorial channels. Meanwhile, I would just make videos about things that kind of annoyed me, like the weather being too hot and the end of the world. But what we had in common was a similar sense of pacing, throwing objects against the floor, and never showing our faces. The How To Basic era came to an end on June 23rd, 2021. Exactly 5 years after I created I'm Just a Marker, and the day I made the first video for Mark Ernesto Mark, this channel, which, as I said earlier, used to be I'm Just a Marker. I made one last How To Basic style video to announce the start of Mark Ernesto Mark, then 3 months later in September, I would get an idea that led us into our current era, the Mark Ernesto Mark era. Usually what I like to do on this channel is review movies and TV shows. But when I was starting out here, again, I had trouble coming up with ideas for Kajabr Guy. Then last September, when I made a video about Schoolhouse Rock, I got the idea to make a meme about that same movie on Kajabr Guy on the same day. And what this led to was a symbiotic relationship between Mark Ernesto Mark and Kajabr Guy, where I would talk about something here, then on the same day on Kajabr Guy, I would make something related to what I talked about here. I'm pretty happy with this format, and I can imagine myself using it for the foreseeable future. And after that, who knows, maybe I could focus on mashups or start brick filming again, or maybe I could do water gun destruction videos. Regardless, I hope you enjoyed this video because it took me 10 years to make. In conclusion, the best way to become a YouTuber is to have your 7th birthday party at a bowling alley.